Alright, what is good? What is happening, everybody? It is your boy Connor, your primitive AK here, back with another video for you guys today. Today we are here with the official patch notes for the brand new Warzone update Season 4, June 16th update, which will be going live in approximately 2 hours from now. It's currently 10:11. This update will be going live at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For anyone on the East Coast, 9 p.m. Pacific Time. There's a lot of notes here, so I'm going to do my best to try and keep this short, but also informative and detailed at the same time, so you guys know exactly what's coming with this update. So we're going to get right into it here. Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe, and let's get right into these notes because it's a lot of them. So playlists. First things first, we're adding BR, Resurgence Mini Trios in Verdansk. Verdansk Plunder Quads will be added. They're removing Plunder Blood Money Quads and Rebirth Island Duos, and they're also keeping Rebirth Island Resurgence Quads for you fans of that out there, like myself. The Groundfall timed event will be happening as well. We explained this in a previous video if you want to check that out. The brand new mode Verdansk Resurgence Mini is also going to be added to the game. The Battle Pass, we're not going to scroll through the entire list of what's included in the Battle Pass because we talked about that in our last video. Annotation to that will be on the screen if you want to check that out, but the Battle Pass will be added starting at midnight. For the Warzone map itself, they have now added the Red Doors feature, which is essentially a teleportation system. They don't say what it is here because they want to keep it under wraps, but it was leaked as a teleportation system across Verdansk, so that's pretty much exactly what it is in this case. The downtown tower is now under new management, which is the Nakatomi Tower. They basically kept the building, but they just said it's under new management, so the Nakatomi Tower will remain in the game. They have a brand new Gulag, which is essentially the hijacked map, for those that are curious. Recreation of the yacht. They have a brand new satellite POIs crash sites that have been added to Krovnik Farmland area, Block 18 area, Block 16 area, and also the Gora Bridge. They've also added some Pride Month calling cards for those that are interested in that, so good on them for adding that as well. Some general changes here to Warzone. They added 120 Hz support for PS5. What this means is that you can now play at 120 frames per second on PS5, so this is a really good change here. It will require HDMI 2.1 cabling, so if you don't have that cable, you will not be able to play on 120 Hz. But assuming you have a PS5, I'm assuming most of you guys probably already have that, because I'm pretty sure it actually came with a 120 Hz 120 Hz wire for it. Also, down players who disconnect the game early will now drop their loot, because that wasn't a thing before, and if they disconnect while during a finish move, they'll still drop their loot as well, so great change there. Some gameplay changes. We got some new vehicles, a dirt bike, which was I talked about in the previous video. They also added ground loot for the C58 weapon and the MG82, which is now in the loot pool. Combat build kill streak also has been added to the loot pool, and self-revive spawn rate has also been reduced as well. The 1911 starter gun now requires 3 hits to gain bonus finisher damage instead of 2. This change will increase the number of melee hits needed for this weapon to down an enemy at 200 by 1. So basically what this means is that for those that like to be scumbags, yeah, I'm looking at you. For those that like to be scumbags and not pick up a gun and just go around meleeing people with a pistol when you first land, you're no longer able to hit people anymore. So that's not a thing. Thank goodness, because I could not stand that. Also, the snapshot grenade reveal duration increased from 1.25 to 2 seconds. Nobody uses this, so I could really care less about that. Custom mods have been enabled for BOCW weapons. This will allow you to name and save up to 5 custom weapon builds as blueprints, so absolutely amazing. Really happy that they have that there. And also, they mentioned something about the specialist token, but I'm not entirely sure what that is. I believe it has something to do with like the contracts. It says they want exciting items like the specialist token in Warzone, however, the ease and consistency of its acquisition was problematic. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I haven't played regular Verdansk that much, so I don't know what the specialist token is. If somebody in the comments box can let me know, I would greatly appreciate it, because all I play is Rebirth Island, so I don't know anything about a specialist token. Some bug fixes here. I'm not going to go too into these things, because they're just simply bug fixes. They are a few map exploit fixes, dev error fixes for the Carve 2, and also a few other issues with the challenges in the quarry area, and also some UI changes. Now here's the big information here. So weapons, new weapons added inside of the game are going to include the MG82, the C58 assault rifle, nail gun, baseball bat, the OTS-9, which will be added later throughout the season, and the mace will be added later throughout the season as well. These are all going to be available in Warzone as well. So pretty much everything what I just highlighted right here will be available at midnight, so you will be able to unlock all those weapons. Moving on, the we have some weapon changes to all of these weapons listed below. It's a lot of notes, so we're going to do our best to try and get through all of this because it's a lot of information. So first things first, CR56 AMAX has been nerfed yet again. The upper torso damage multiplier decreased from 1.2 down to 1.1. There's some notes where they talk about why they nerfed it. Personally, I still don't think this is going to be enough on the AMAX. I hate to say it, but Raven, you guys need to give the gun more recoil. That's how you nerf the AMAX, right? Just nerfing the damage is not going to do much to this thing. Yeah, it's going to have a lower time to kill, which is good. You know, in terms, that's a good change, but if the weapon still is a no recoil laser beam, this weapon is insanely easy to control, both on mouse and keyboard and controller. The AMAX, in my opinion, is still going to be the go-to competitive weapon, even after this change, but I will still be giving it a shot after the patch, and I will have a video out this week covering it. Grossa, the minimum damage increased from 18 to 23. This is actually a pretty substantial buff. Upper torso damage multiplier increased to 1.2 and lower increased to 1.1, and maximum damage range decreased by 12%. So this looks like a pretty significant buff. I will have to give this one a shot as well, because from 18 to 23, that's a really significant buff right there, guys. So I'll be giving that a shot. Assault rifle golf neck damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.5. I'm not sure what assault rifle golf is. I think that's the AK-47 for someone that wants to correct me there. I can't stand these terrible names on these weapons. Like, just tell me what name it is, please. Stop saying assault rifle golf. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure which weapon that is, but the neck damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.5. Upper torso damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.2. The XM4 neck damage multiplier increased from 1 to 1.5. I just did an XM4 video. Now you're telling me I'm going to have to do another one. But regardless, nice to see a buff there. The AMP63 maximum damage increased from 30 to 33. Second damage range increased by 14.3%. Upper torso increased to 1.1. Extremities damage from 0.9 to 1. I'm not entirely sure what extremities damage is. Headshot damage multiplier and decreased from 1.4 to 1.3. So they do admit that this weapon didn't have enough love to it, and they felt that it needed just a tad bit of a buff, which is a pretty good change there. So I'll be giving that a shot as well. Melee weapons, ballistic knife, projectile velocity increased by 25%. Neck damage multiplier increased to 1.3, and move speed increased to 1.3, and upper torso damage increased to 1.23. I don't use melee weapons, so I can care less about that. Street Sweeper maximum damage range decrease and second damage range decrease by 24 and 18%. Third damage range decreased by 7% and move speed decreased by 1%. Good. This weapon needed to be nerfed. This thing was ridiculous. The sniper rifle Charlie, bullet velocity increased by 7% roughly. Upper torso and lower torso increased to 1.25 and 1.15. The Swiss K31 got its base optic functionality improved and base reticle also updated. Submachine gun Alpha, whatever weapon that is, I don't have these things memorized. I apologize. I can't stand these names of these weapons. I feel like saying this is the MP5, but I could be wrong. Somebody's gonna have to correct me in the comments box because I'm not booting up my game to figure out what Submachine Gun Alpha is. But let's go ahead and get into the notes. Upper torso damage multiplier increased to 1.1. Damage at range increased by 10%. The Bullfrog got a nice little update as well. Iron sight ADS position has been adjusted to increase the visibility. The KSP got a range buff, increased by 16%, and multipliers increased to 1. It has a fast time to kill potential, but it was pretty much undesirable when it comes to range, especially for a burst fire weapon, so they gave it a nice little buff. Milano got some massive changes here. A maximum damage increase from 34 to 36, minimum damage increase from 25 to 30, maximum damage range increased by 23%, upper and lower torso damage multipliers increased to 1.2 and 1.1, and extremities increased to 1. So pretty much they admit that this weapon was trash. All right, it was terrible. There was no point using that weapon, so it's nice to see that they gave this weapon some love. The submachine gun Echo, no clue what weapon that is. I'm pretty sure that might be the I'm gonna be honest, guys, I don't know what weapon that is. I feel like saying that's the what's that SMG, the Bison. It might be the Bison. I don't know why they named these weapons like this. But whatever it is, got its range increased to 35, extremities damage multiplier increased to 1, and tac rifles, DMR-14 got some love again. They reduced the magnitude of the recoil on this weapon, so good change there, because the weapon was pretty terrible. Last time I made a video on it, I told people that it was pretty much useless, so it's nice to see that they gave it some love there. Some attachment changes here also came through for the Pellington, Sniper Rifle Charlie, Switch K31, Tundra, and also the ZRG. Pretty much they increased the bullet velocity across the board for all of these attachments on the Combat Recon snipers. So great to see that they increased the velocity of all of those. For Ranger barrels on all of the assault rifles, it now increases your bullet velocity by 50%, now increases vertical recoil control by 15, and hipfire spread by 20. The takedown across all assault rifle barrels now gives you range at 35%, horizontal recoil control at 15%, hipfire spread at 20%. For your reinforced heavy and match break barrels across the assault rifles and LMGs, your bullet velocity, effective damage range, horizontal, vertical, ADS move speed, sprint speed, ADS, and hipfire spread also got massive changes. And for your task force barrel and the Spetsnaz RPK and CMV mil-spec barrels across the assault rifle and LMGs got the similar change as well. Some pretty massive changes here. They really went out of their way to change everything on this thing. So it's nice to see that they're giving some love to those attachments. The Axial Arms 3x scope, they fixed the optic position, which was shifted, and also the Royal and Cross 4x got changes as well. The Bruiser grip on snipers aiming stability increased from 10% to now 19%. Operators, they made some changes to the rose skin yet again. Is this going to be enough on the rose skin? We'll have to see. They supposedly, what they said is the rose's rook skin has received material updates to increase visibility. I will be covering this probably on stream at a later time to see if this change is enough for this type of thing, but I personally think rose is still going to be top tier. You know, just put reflectors on it. That's all you got to do. Moving on, we got new operators that I covered in the Battle Pass in yesterday's video. But that's pretty much it, guys. The download size is going to be roughly about 12 gigabytes for PC and roughly about 11 gigabytes for most of the consoles as well. But anyways, guys, there's a lot of changes in this thing. So, like I said, I'm sorry if I went too fast for anyone, but I tried to get through all of this as fast as possible without making the video too long. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments box what you guys are most hyped for in this update. I'm personally excited to give the barrels a shot. There's a lot of big changes here to the barrels, and I'm really excited to give the C58 assault rifle a try in Warzone as well. So we'll be having all these covered throughout the week. And yeah, anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. There's a lot of crazy changes here. And like I said, if you want to visualize all the weapons, I apologize for not knowing all the names of the assault rifles, like Assault Rifle Golf, which is the Scar. I can't stand these names, these placeholder names that they use on the weapons. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's your boy Carnage, your Primitive AK, signing out. Peace out, fellas.